already have drawn the IoT level 1 diagram. Device, resources, controller service and service controller is mentioned like that. Controller service. Draw a dotted vertical line between that. Here left side it is local, the right side it is cloud. This is REST or WebSocket communication. This one, REST or WebSocket communication. Database, REST or WebSocket services. Above we have an application which we are using, that is nothing but an interface to the user. And that is only representing a single monitoring node and communicating with the cloud storage, or you can say cloud storage analysis, a cloud. Okay, listen here, concentrate here, leave your pen, pencil, scale and all, focus here. So your IoT level 2 system means it is providing a certain application. It is providing a solution to whom, where your data is big, where the collection of the data, the denting of the data, dealing of the data is big. In those situations, we use IoT level 2 system. The application which involve big data, or you can say complex, because we have increased some complexity, we have increased some components, and whatever you see on the left side, it is differentiated as a local. Local in the sense, the components are available with a certain range, certain distance, they are connected. What do you mean by cloud? This can be accessed via internet or via server. In the cloud, what we have? A database, a services, and an application. That is cloud. Cloud means it is internally available, somewhere is available. You are going to access this by using a internet wide. So this system is a solution to them in which a big data is involved, the complexity has been involved. Now let me give you some real-time example for this. So many times I have said you regarding soil irrigation system. A good real-time example for IoT level 2 is soil irrigation system. This consists of a single node. How many nodes? Single node in the sense a sensor which is available or which is connected to a plant or which is fixed in a certain ground available on the floor. That will be a single node. What it was doing? It is monitoring the moisture level, moisture content presence in the soil. For example, this is a half acre, quarter acre. What they will do? They will place this a single node, a single sensor, soil moisture sensor on the ground, which is monitoring, which is checking the presence of moisture level in your soil. Understand about a single, only single node. Now what this device is doing? A device is connected to the sensor, a single device, a single component, which will be connected to the sensor or which will be runs on the sensor. Even it monitors, it controls the moisture level which is present in the soil. It checks and monitors and controls the moisture level of moisture in the soil. Now we have done with the device. What is next? What is next? So your resources are nothing but the code. Resources are nothing but the software component. To the resources, you can connect this sensor. To the resources, you can connect an actuator. It is always preferable that sensor and actuator will be available with the resources, or you can connect an actuator. What actuator? Your actuator is the output device, which is controlling this input data. Understandable? Your actuator is the output device. Here, what type of actuator we are using, I will tell you later. Your actuator is controlling the input information so that the system will work in a proper manner. Understandable? Note, a device, a single device which is monitoring, checking and updating, everything is done by here. What? Moisture level presence in the soil. Your resources is nothing but will connect an actuator to the resource to control the moisture level or to control this sensor or to control the output of your IOT system. Understood? Session. Now next, controller service, which is connected to WebSocket or REST services. What it was doing? It is sending this collected data. Which data? Moisture level or moisture level presence in the soil collected by the sensor. What it was doing? Controller service or service controller sending this data to the database via how? Via REST or WebSocket services. Then your database, which is available in the cloud, it is not available in the system now. If it is available in the system means you are accessing in a home or you are accessing in a college. Now this database is available in the cloud. In order to access this database, you need an internet. Understandable? Session. What this database is? This will have a level of or moisture level. Moisture level. So there will be a predefined threshold. There will be a threshold value for a moisture level. Example I am telling generally, like say we are setting some level 20, 25, 30, 35. Certain number we are setting. That is nothing but threshold value. So what controller service is doing? It is acting on moisture level. It is checking the status of the moisture level, and even you can update. Update means change the moisture level in the database. How? Via REST or web services. Clear? Understandable? Session? Yeah. So the retrieving of the data, updating the data can be done by controller service. So controller service is fetching the collection of data. Who is collecting the data? Sensor or monitoring node is collecting the data. This data is fetched by controller service. Retrieving means taking, and updating the data done by this. Understood? Session. Now I have used the sensor, I have used the device, I have used the controller service. Till now I didn't say about actuator. Session. Session. Now what device will do? It will activate or it will run the irrigation system. How? We will connect an actuator, that is nothing but in this application we connect a solenoid valve. Solenoid valve. To whom we will connect this? To the motor or a pump. Solenoid valve, which is nothing but an actuator, that will be connected to a pump or a motor. Understandable now? Got the point? I have done with the sensor, I have done with the device. Now resources just only I have done. Controller service is sending this data, moisture level to the database. It is sending to the database, but via how? REST or WebSocket. Your database is in the cloud. On the right side, that's why I mentioned it as a cloud. Which is now completely it is now a cloud-based application. IoT level 1 is local-based application. IoT level 2 is cloud-based, because your database is available in the cloud, services are available in the cloud, application is available in the cloud. That's why it is a cloud-based application. Now I have said that as being a user or farmer, the developer will set a threshold value, certain threshold value 25, 30, some amount of moisture level which they are measuring. For example, mentioned it as a 40. That is a good amount of moisture level in the soil. If this threshold value falls below 40, for example 10, understandable? This threshold value will be written in the code, Python code or Java code, which depends on your application. For example, sensor sends the moisture level and it is sending the data to the controller service. That data is 10 now. Means if the threshold value falls below the 40, understandable? I am just imagining that. If it is 10, what it will do? Actuator will activate this solenoid wire and it will tell that the motor or pump is going to on. The motor or pump will on. If it is getting on, the water will be supplied to the field. Understandable? Means when the moisture level falls below 40, like 10 minutes, your soil is going to dry. The soil is under dry condition. Now it needs the water because you want to maintain your plants. You want to maintain the health of the plants. Understandable? At that condition, solenoid valve will activate, that act as the actuator, that will turn the pump or motor. In this condition, water will be supplied to the field, supplied to the land. So once water is supplied, this land will become increases, pressure, moisture level increases. When it reaches the threshold value, then again your sensor will sense the moisture level. When it comes to proper value, controller service will update the data into the database. Then it will trigger the solenoid valve. The controller service will control the actuator and it will turn off the pump or motor. Means turn off the solenoid valve. Turning of the solenoid valve. Understandable? That valve will look like this. And here, like from here, water will flow and they will do a connection to the device or controller service. Like this, it will look like a solenoid valve. They will fix it to the motor or pump. Here, from here, water will flow. Understandable? This will work as an actuator. Clear? Got the flow? Yes, sir. I will repeat one more time. Your IOT level 2 is a solution, answer to the system where data involvement is big. Involvement of the data is big or complex. One good real-time example is nowadays farmers are using this soil irrigation system. It will consist of, that level 2 consists of a single monitoring node. The name itself suggesting you, monitor means check the something. It collects the data, it checks something. Now in this example, it monitors the moisture level presence in the soil. If that moisture level becomes low, dry, it will send to whom? That data will be connected by whom? Controller service. Your controller service is collecting the data and it will fed to whom? Database. Your controller service is retrieving the data that can update the data. What kind of data? Moisture level. And the developer will set a threshold value to 40, 50, whatever it is. And if that threshold value falls below, controller service will activate actuator. In this example, your actuator is solenoid valve. That solenoid valve will be connected to the pump motor. If the soil becomes dry, it will turn on that valve, so that water will supply to the field, 1 acre, 2 acre, whatever it is. Once the moisture level becomes proper, reaches to the threshold value of 40, again monitoring node will sense that now it becomes 40. So what it will do? Controller service will turn off this solenoid valve. Motor will going to turn on. So how you can access this? It can be accessed by using the application which can run in your mobile and you need a internet. Remote access. Cloud means remote access. Somewhere you may be traveling, farmers will travel, they may forget to turn off the motor. By using an application, you will have this as a UI, this database as a UI, there you can turn on or turn off the solenoid valve, motor. Understandable? Means this application will be available in the cloud. Clear? Yeah. Any queries, any doubts? Any queries? Yeah, now let me go to the further topic. Right now, I have explained you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I won't explain. I will give you notes. Directly we go to the IOT level 6, the complexity level. Next take again level 6.